Welcome. Take a slow breath. This is going to be long, gentle, and life-changing if you let it be. We are about to walk together through Stoicism, not as an ancient museum piece, but as a living, breathing way of being that works whether you are 9 or 99. You do not need any prior knowledge. You do not need to be smart or deep. You only need to be willing to listen and, when something resonates, try it once in your real life. Stoicism is the art of living well in a world we do not control. That sentence contains almost everything. Everything else we will say over the next many hours is simply unpacking that one idea. Let's begin at the beginning. Where it started. Around 301 BC, a merchant named Zeno of Citium was sailing across the Mediterranean with all his wealth in the hold. A storm came. The ship sank. He lost everything and washed up, broke, on the shores of Athens. Most people would have cursed the universe. Zeno walked into a bookstore, picked up a text about Socrates, and felt something click. He thought, if a man can be calm and good even when tortured to death, then maybe losing money isn't the end of the world. That moment in the bookstore was the birth of Stoicism. From total shipwreck came one of the most powerful philosophies humanity has ever produced. The three giants you will meet on this journey. Epictetus, born a slave, crippled for life by a cruel master, became the most famous teacher in Rome. A Seneca, billionaire, advisor to emperors, forced to take his own life at 69, died smiling. And Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome at its absolute peak of power, wrote private notes to himself that we still read today. One slave, one billionaire, one emperor. Same exact philosophy. That tells you it is not about your circumstances. The promise of Stoicism, in plain language. It will not make you rich or famous. It will not stop bad things from happening. But it will do three things almost no one else can give you. Inner peace that does not depend on Wi-Fi, grades, relationships, money, or health. Courage to do what needs to be done even when you are terrified. A deep, quiet joy that stays with you even on the worst days. The single most important idea in all of Stoicism. The dichotomy of control. We will return to this idea again and again because everything else rests on it. Some things are in our control. Some things are not. In our control. Our judgments, our choices, our desires, our values, how we treat people, what we decide something means. Not in our control. The past, the future, other people's thoughts, the weather, our reputation in the eyes of others, our body aging, whether we win the game, whether someone loves us back. The entire practice of Stoicism is learning to pour 100% of our energy into the first list and 0% into the second. When you truly live this way, anxiety loses its fuel. A story to feel it in your bones. Imagine two students taking the same math test. Student A thinks, if I fail, I'm stupid. Everyone will laugh. My parents will be ashamed. My future is ruined. Student B thinks, I prepared as well as I could. The grade is not up to me anymore. Whatever happens, I will learn from it and keep going. Same test. Same teacher. Same room. Completely different inner experience. Student A is suffering before the test even starts. Student B is free. That freedom is what we are walking toward, hour by hour. Let's keep walking. 1. Why Stoicism feels like coming home. Because it is built on truths most of us already feel when we are very young or very old. Life is short. We don't control nearly as much as we think. Kindness matters more than being right. Peace is better than endless wanting. Children and the elderly often live closer to these truths naturally. The years in between are when we forget. Stoicism is simply the practice of remembering. Close your eyes for one breath. Let everything settle. We are in no rush. The path is long, and that is good. The dichotomy of control in daily life. Some things are up to us. Some things are not up to us. Today we are going to walk this idea through every corner of an ordinary human day, from the moment your eyes open until they close again. We will look at waking up, school or work, family, friends, phones, bodies, money, mistakes, insults, traffic, sickness, and bedtime. Nothing is too small or too big. By the end of this part, the dichotomy will no longer be a theory. It will be a reflex. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out. Here we go. The first choice of the day. The alarm goes off. Most people's very first thought is a version of I don't want to get up. That thought is natural. But notice, the feeling of not wanting to get out of bed is not up to you. The meaning you give it, and what you do next, is. Epictetus said the first job of the morning is to say to yourself, today I will meet people who are ungrateful, violent, selfish, and ignorant. They are like that because they do not know what is truly good and truly bad. But I do know. Therefore I will not be surprised, and I will not be harmed. Marcus Aurelius wrote almost the same thing 200 years later. word for word in spirit. So before your feet touch the floor, you can make one tiny decision that changes everything. Today I will focus only on what is mine to control. The rest I will let pass through me like wind. That decision takes 3 seconds and protects the next 16 hours. Morning routines and the body. You look in the mirror. Maybe you like what you see. Maybe you don't. Height, acne, weight, hair, scars, disabilities, illnesses, none of these are chosen. How you treat the body you were given is chosen. You do not control whether your stomach growls, whether your knees hurt, or whether your hair falls out one day. You do control whether you move it gently, feed it kindly, rest it wisely, and speak to it with respect. The body is rented. We all get the keys for an unknown number of years, then we hand them back. A Stoic treats the rental with care, but never believes this rental is me. Breakfast and family. Someone forgot to buy milk. Someone is yelling about socks. Someone is scrolling and ignoring everyone. None of that is up to you. Your tone of voice, your patience, whether you help or add to the noise, that is up to you. One calm person at the table can lower the temperature for 8 other people. That is real power, and it lives entirely in the up to me column. The journey to school or work. Traffic. Rain. A delayed train. A flat tire. These things happen to everyone. What separates people is not what happens on the road, but what happens in the mind during the delay. You can turn 10 red lights into 10 opportunities to breathe slowly, to listen to something beautiful, to remember that you are alive right now. Anger at traffic is the clearest possible example of fighting something that is not up to us. The lights do not care that you are late. Your blood pressure does. Other people's opinions, the big one. Someone laughs at your clothes. Someone spreads a rumor. Someone gives you a bad performance review. Someone unfollows you. Every single one of these belongs on the not up to me list. You control whether you are honest, kind, and diligent. You do not control whether other people notice or reward it. The moment you accept this fully, you become unbreakable. Epictetus used to say, if someone handed you a dirty shirt and said, here, this belongs to you, you would refuse it. Yet when someone hands you their opinion of you and says this is who you are, most people accept it instantly. Refuse the dirty shirt. Tests difficult conversations. Social media. Same pattern. 3 examples. A test grade is partly preparation, up to you, partly the teacher's mood, the wording of the question, and luck, not up to you. Focus on preparation and honest effort. The number that appears on the paper is outside your circle. A difficult conversation. You control clarity, respect, and listening. You do not control whether the other person hears you or changes. Speak anyway. Then let it go. Social media. Likes, comments, views. None are up to you. Whether you post something true and kind is up to you. Post if it helps someone. Do not post for applause. Applause is wind. Lunch and money. You open your wallet and there is less than you thought. Or someone else is buying things you wish you could afford. Money is mostly not up to us. How we earn it, how we spend it, how calmly we live with little or much, those are up to us. Seneca was one of the richest men in Rome and wrote, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. A child with a peanut butter sandwich and a friend to share it with can be richer than a billionaire eating alone. The afternoon slump. Energy drops. Motivation disappears. You still have 4 hours of work or homework. Energy levels are not chosen. What you do with the energy you have is chosen. Sometimes the Stoic choice is to push through with discipline. Sometimes the Stoic choice is to take a 10-minute walk or a 20-minute nap so you can come back stronger. Both can be the right choice. Only you, in that moment, can tell which one it is one. Mistakes and failure. You forget something important. You say the wrong thing. You lose the game. You hurt someone's feelings. The past action is done. The story you tell yourself about it right now is up to you. You can tell yourself, I am useless. Or you can tell yourself, I am a human who is learning. Next time I will do better. The first story creates shame that lasts years. The second creates growth that lasts a lifetime. Physical pain and illness. A headache. A broken arm. Period cramps. Cancer. Pain is not chosen. How we relate to the pain is chosen. Viktor Frankl, a concentration camp survivor who studied the Stoics, wrote, the last of the human freedoms is to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. People have smiled while being tortured, not because they enjoyed pain, but because they refused to let pain own their mind. You may never face anything that extreme, but the principle scales down perfectly to a sprained ankle or a migraine. 1. The evening, family, friends, loneliness. Someone is in a bad mood and takes it out on you. Someone you love is far away. Someone cancels plans. Their mood is not up to you. Your kindness is. Loneliness is a feeling that comes and goes like weather. Whether you feed it with self-pity or soothe it with music, a book, a walk, or a message to a friend, that is up to you. Nighttime scrolling and bedtime. The phone tempts you to check one more thing. Then one more. Then 20 more. The algorithm is designed to keep you. Your finger is controlled by you. Put the phone across the room. Read one page of something that makes you better. Lie down and feel your breath for 10 cycles. Sleep is not guaranteed tomorrow. Peaceful sleep tonight is one of the greatest luxuries on earth, and it is almost entirely up to you. A one-day experiment you can try tomorrow. When you wake up, take a small note or open your phone and write 2 columns. Up to me today, not up to me today. Every single time you feel tension, ask, which column does this belong in? If it belongs in not up to me, draw a tiny circle around it and imagine placing it gently outside your body. If it belongs in up to me, ask, what is the next right action, as small as it needs to be? Do this for one day. You will be astonished how much lighter you feel by dinner. Look back at everything we just walked through. Waking up, family, traffic, opinions, tests, money, pain, mistakes, loneliness, sleep. Those things is unique to any age, country, or century. They are the raw materials of every human life. The Stoic does not wait for perfect conditions. The Stoic works with the raw materials he or she is given, today, and shapes them with the only tool that is always in our hands, our chosen response. That is freedom. We will learn how to go beyond just accepting reality, how to actually fall in love with it. Until then, be gentle with yourself, and gentle with every person you meet. They, too, are carrying things they did not choose. Amor Fati, learning to love what happens. You have already carried the heaviest tool in the Stoic workshop, the Dichotomy of Control. Now we pick up something even more beautiful, something that feels almost impossible at first, yet changes everything once it takes root. The Stoics called it Amor Fati, for syllables that translate as love of fate. Not tolerance of fate. Not grim endurance of fate. Love. To love whatever happens, exactly as it happens, exactly as it would have happened even if you had prayed for the opposite. This is not blind optimism. This is not pretending that pain is pleasant. This is the quiet, fierce decision to say yes to life in its totality, because fighting reality is the only thing that truly hurts us. Let us walk slowly into this together. Where the phrase comes from. Epictetus never used the exact Latin words amor fati. He said something stronger. Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens, happens the way it happens, then you will be happy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, everything that happens is as normal and expected as the spring rose or the summer fruit. This is true of sickness, death, slander, intrigue, and all the other things that delight or trouble foolish men. 2 centuries later, Nietzsche read the Stoics and shouted amor fati from the rooftops. My formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. Not merely bear what is necessary, still less conceal it, but love it. Tonight we are not borrowing Nietzsche's fireworks. We are going straight to the quiet Roman source. 2. The 2 levels of amor fati. Level 1, acceptance. Most people never get past this. Fine. It happened. I won't make it worse by complaining. Level 2, love, the Stoic destination. Thank you. I would not have chosen this, yet I see now that it is the only soil in which something precious can grow. Level 1 stops the bleeding. Level 2 turns the wound into wings. 3. A story every parent and child can feel. Imagine a 6-year-old boy who has saved his allowance for months to buy the exact Lego set he has dreamed about. On the way home from the store, the bag rips. Every single piece scatters across a rainy street and disappears down storm drains. The boy screams and cries. His father kneels in the rain. Level 1 acceptance would be the father saying, stop crying. It's gone. Let's go home. Level 2 amor fati is the father hugging him and whispering, we just bought the best story we will ever tell. Years from now, we will laugh about the day the entire set became a pirate treasure lost at sea. And look, the box is still perfect. We get to build the memory instead of the toy. Years later, the grown son will say that rainy afternoon was one of the happiest moments of his childhood, not in spite of the loss, but because of what his father helped him do with the loss. That is amor fati in its purest form. 4. Why the universe does not need your permission. Reality is not a negotiation. The rain falls whether you scheduled a picnic or not. People leave. Bodies age. Planes are late. Elections go the way they go. Every time we say this shouldn't be happening, we are arguing with the only thing that is actually real right now. We are punching the present moment in the face and wondering why our hand hurts. Amor Fati is the moment we stop punching and start listening. 5. The alchemy of good. Marcus Aurelius again. Take whatever comes. Everything that happens has been ready for you from everlasting, and the thread of causes has woven your share and your appointment from eternity. That sounds mystical, but it is practical. Think of any bad thing that ever happened to you. Stay with it gently. Now trace the thread forward. Because of that breakup, you met someone who changed your life. Because you missed that train, you ran into an old friend who needed help. Because you got sick, you slowed down enough to notice you were burning out. We do not always see the thread while it is being woven. Amor Fati is the trust that the loom knows what it is doing, even when the emerging pattern looks like chaos. 6. Practicing on the small things first. You do not start loving cancer on day 1. You start with the barista who misspells your name. The Wi-Fi dies perfect, my eyes get a rest. You're stuck in line 10 free minutes to breathe and notice I'm alive. It starts pouring the moment you leave the house without an umbrella. The universe just gave me a free cold shower. Skin will thank me. Say it out loud, gently, without forcing it. At first it feels fake. After a week it feels playful. After a month it feels true. 7. The advanced practice, the love meditation. Every night before sleep takes 2 minutes. 1. Think of one thing that happened today you did not choose. 2. Say softly, either aloud or in your mind. This happened. I did not ask for it. And yet it happened exactly as it needed to. I welcome it. I love that it happened, because now I get to grow in a way I never would have otherwise. Do not force warm feelings. Just speak the words with calm neutrality. The warmth comes on its own schedule. 8. Amor Fati and grief. People sometimes think amor fati means pretend you're fine when someone dies. Nothing could be further from the truth. Seneca lost a child. Marcus lost at least 8 children and his wife. They wept. They mourned. They felt the full weight. Then, slowly, they bowed. Seneca wrote to a friend who lost a son. You did not lose him too early. You had him for exactly the right amount of time. Now he is safe from all future harm. Be grateful for the years you were allowed to borrow him. Amor Fati does not shorten grief. It keeps grief clean. It prevents grief from rotting into bitterness. 9. Amor Fati in illness and disability. There are thousands of people living with chronic pain, paralysis, terminal diagnoses, who wake up every morning and choose amor fati. They do not love the pain itself. They love the person they are becoming inside the pain. One woman with multiple sclerosis wrote, "My body is a strict teacher. It will not let me lie to myself anymore. Every day it says, here is exactly what you can do today. Nothing more. Do it beautifully." I have never felt so free. 10. The ultimate test, the viewpoint of your 90-year-old self. When something hard happens, ask, what will the 90-year-old version of me say about this moment? Almost always the answer is some version of, I needed that. It shaped me. I'm grateful. Amor Fati is simply deciding to feel that gratitude now instead of waiting 50 years.